I have a few little plants, 1 tomato, 2 peppers to pot on today, and then I have some lettuce to pot on or prick out and pot on. So I'll start with the lettuce first. I have my picnic tablecloth here so I don't make too much of a mess. I can clean up. I do not have a greenhouse outside and it'd be a bit chilly anyway. So what I'm potting on today, they aren't vegetables yet for my outdoor garden. At the end of February, mid-February to the end is when I really start those, at least the ones that need that long growth time stretch there. That would be my leeks, my Brussels sprouts, toward the end my celery, and globe artichoke. That's the 4 that I start then. The rest, very few, I will start later, and that's usually my tomatoes and peppers, and that's much later. But for now, I always grow in the winter, indoors, without grow lights. Don't let anyone tell you you can't, just play around. I always say that. I've been doing it for, well, since we moved into this house, and I just needed some extra time to grow here. It's a little different than Ontario. And I just stick usually with vegetables that do well indoors. So today I've only got a few because I am going away in February actually, and watering might be an issue. I have to look into buying something. The first one I'm going to do is the lettuce. Now I'm just trying one variety. It's Yedikule lettuce. That's Turkey, that's Istanbul, and I grew it outside and it was lovely, but I had so many different lettuces I wasn't 100% sure, so I really want to try it indoors and see. It's a type of romaine, but most use it as a you know, the cut and come greens. So I've got quite a few here to try, and some I'll grow on into maybe a full, if they do well, into a full romaine, but we'll see. I think Yedikule, if I'm saying that correct, is famous for their cabbage and their lettuce. This lettuce particularly. 1,500 years, I think it says in the pack. Let me read the pack so I'm not misquoting. Ancient variety that has been grown by urban farmers near modern-day Istanbul, Turkey since the Byzantine times. This variety has been recognized by the Ark of Taste as a beloved culinary symbol of Istanbul's centuries-old urban gardens. They go back 1,500 years. So that's fun to try. I got it free from the Baker Creek. I like those. I'm just using regular potting soil. And I'm going to go one step up for all these little seedlings, or some of them anyways. Just going to prick them out. Oh, I've got an awful lot. I'll just do some. But I really wanted to give them a better go in here. So I'm going to lightly place them in. I'm not going to press down too hard because I'm forcing them down some. They are leggy. No consequence because I keep potting on and keep planting them deeper. Little baby roots here. I'm looking forward to some greens I already miss. It doesn't take long for me to miss the lettuce from outside. So this will be a nice little boom. It's not that big. I'm going to try to get some of the ones with more roots, like that one. And I'm forcing it down a fair bit. And these will be placed, because the tray is quite big, they won't fit on my windowsill down here, so they'll be going up in my bedroom, which I have a setup for the light to get at everything. We have passed our winter solstice, yay! Daylight is getting longer, and I have enough light coming in those windows upstairs. So let me finish these, and then we'll get to the next ones. I ended up putting all of them in. They go right up to here. So the soil I will use for, as these plants pot on and pot on, I always need more soil. I don't waste anything. Those will go on probably the bottom of the other pots. Now I have a row empty here. I may stick some seeds just because. And I think I have, oh no, I don't know. This is from the hot mix, so I don't know what it is. When we're potting on, we always want to go up 1 inch or 2 inch in space. You don't want too much. Too much, and I've made this error. If your plant has too much soil around it, it just gets soggy and the roots rot. So I think that'll do for there. However, I've got this little seedling coming up. I'm going to stick it in here. That'll be for me 1 up, I think. It's a hot mix. So a hot pepper of some sort, but I can't tell you what it is. If I can get it out. Yeah, it doesn't have much of roots yet. Nice little healthy stem though. So I'm just going to plunk him right in the middle here. And keep my eye on him for when it's time to go to probably the next size pot, which is these little recyclable ones. By the way, these used to bother me because I appreciate that we can, they're more environment friendly. The plastic eventually melts away. But what happens when you have these, and if you've ever tried them, the bottom, because they're susceptible to just melting away kind of thing, the bottom was all tippy-toppy, so I had Bruce, I said, what can I do? And he took a lighter and just, you know, heated it, warmed it, and then set it on a plank. And I've been using them ever since. They work perfect. So if you have that issue, it does work. Because I do like to use something that's not as bad a plastic, though I will use that soil over again too. Though I use these forever and ever and ever and ever. So that's that. And I'll think of some other hot peppers, I think. This tray only had 1 come up. I use winter as an opportune time for me to find out if the seeds are no longer viable. So I had an old mixed pack of hot peppers. I threw the whole pack in there, 1 came up. So I don't know what that is, but now I know that I was right to suspect they weren't going to grow. So my little tomato, this is a tiny Tim, and he'll be beautiful in this. So let's get some soil in the bottom. He's not that old, so I don't know how his roots are going to be, but I just want to get it into, when we pot up, if I can get this out, understand? We're not just giving them a bit more room to grow, we're adding more nutrients from the fresh potting soil that they require now. I can't get this guy yet. I don't want to hurt it. Tug, tug, tug. There we go. It's dry, but it's got lots of roots. Great. Okay, I'm going to take a bit more out. It only needs to sit in a little bit of soil down there and then fill around. And he's going to get some fresh new soil. Some signs that you see, I've seen where my plants tell me, because they go just a bit off color. If they go really yellow, you really want to move them on. But just keep on. But that plant was certainly getting big enough to move on, making a mess. I'm going to fill this right up. Push it over. Okay. brought that one too. Yeah, that's just a little bigger than I need right now. And my pepper, this is another hot pepper. I think this is Ring of Fire. Although I don't see it labeled at the moment. Come on. There we go. Yeah, just about the same. You never want your wee plants to get root bound either. Though they're super hardy, they always amaze me. So I'm going to sink, this is a pepper, just like your tomatoes, you can sink them down. This will not by any means be, these plants grow very large, the Ring of Fire, and produce beautifully. In fact, I didn't even grow these outdoors, I grew them only indoors, and all my peppers I use for hot red pepper flakes. I've dried them. I did so well with them. So I love the Ring of Fire. And the red Thai chili. I had both of those. They perform really well. So that's those done. I will make sure to water them correctly. This one I'll water from the bottom. The roots, pretty much I stuck them down far enough. They'll have no problem starting there. I don't want to overwater these tiny wee seedlings. Now the next thing I want to do, this is red kale that I use for microgreens. I have cut away, there's hardly anything left, so I'm just going to shave this off and put it in a baggie, put it in my crisper, and finish those off, but I need to start some new, and that is going to be this time I'm going to use, I have a lot of my saved seeds. I always use saved seeds only for this. I don't want to spend them on microgreens because there's so many plants, easy even in my climate, to reach the point of going to seed, and Mizuna is one of them because they go to seed early. So I always have lots, and they are a lovely microgreen. So I'm going to cut this, I may reuse this pan, it's just a recycled pan I've been using, and start my Mizuna seeds. I'm just going to throw this outside. But I don't want to waste anything. I love this in sandwiches, these little microgreens, or to top with salads, scrambled eggs. But look at me, trying not to waste any. All right, I've got 4 holes here that I could start some little seeds. So I've got, and I'm not sure about these seeds, so why not just play around? These I saved myself. These are big Thai chili. I'll put one of those in, see how it comes along. I have another red, Tiny Tim. Very old seeds also. Is there a date on them? I don't even know. But it can't hurt to try one. And then because I have all this lettuce here, I thought these never seem to go non-viable on me. This is just some giant red mustard. Will be a nice little, maybe put a few seeds in each. Just a nice little contrast with the rest of this lettuce. Okay. Didn't want to waste the space there. Now for my microgreens. This household doesn't require a lot of microgreens. We just won't go through them. So I don't make it complicated for myself. It couldn't be easier. Let's throw some soil in. Should have seen the mat of roots that I just threw out over the balcony. From the, that was the kale, red kale. Strong flavored, the red kale. Mizuna will be much milder. But lovely. That's a nice little change to a salad. So, as I say, couldn't be easier. I'm going to pat this down just a bit so they can have a little bit of surface to start with. And then I throw a whole whack of them in. There's some bits and bobs in here because these are my own saved. There we go. That's probably more than enough for now. And when these ones are through, I start another pack. So I really just need a very light dusting on top. You want to make sure you've covered them, or at least I find. But there's so many ways to do microgreens if you want to do it on a big scale. This is not it. This goes on my windowsill and provides a lot for sandwiches for us. All right, and I'll spray water those in. So here's a pot for way in advance when these, when my pepper and tomato plants get larger. I'm going to save this soil in here. It'll dry out nicely. But it's such a big pot, don't want to waste anything. Recycled mushroom containers. No need to spend money. I'll clean up my mess, but there we go. Potting on to maintain the health of our seedlings, prevent the roots from being bound, and adding some more nutrients with potting soil. They look healthy now. So thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. Take care, and we'll see you soon.